They were giants of the ring, men and women who bled for the spotlight, who made millions cheer and who gave everything to the business that never stops moving. But behind every championship belt and sold-out crowd is a story that ends too soon. This is our tribute to the legends we've lost this century, from Yokozuna to Hulk Hogan. If you remember any of these legends, hit subscribe and join us as we keep their stories alive. Welcome to Iconalytics, your window into the lives of those who shaped the world. Actors, athletes, leaders, legends. We go beyond the headlines to tell the stories that made the world's icons unforgettable. Subscribe now and explore the truth behind the legacy. Yokozuna, Roddy Anoa'i. Born October 2, 1966 in San Francisco, Roddy Anoa'i came from the legendary Samoan Anoa'i wrestling family. Standing over 500 pounds, he became a two-time WWF champion and one of the most dominant big men of the early 90s, defeating the likes of Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan. Outside the ring, his gentle personality contrasted his monster image. Yokozuna died October 23, 2000, in Liverpool, England, of pulmonary edema at just 34 years old. Gordy. Born April 23, 1961, in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Gordy was a powerhouse best known as one-third of the Fabulous Freebirds, revolutionizing tag team wrestling with charisma and chaos. He wrestled across Japan and the US, earning respect for his toughness and ring psychology. After years of health issues following a 1993 coma, Gordy passed away July 16, 2001, from a heart attack, aged 40. Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog. Born November 27, 1962 in Goulburn, England, Davey Boy Smith blended raw strength with technical precision. A member of the famed Hart family, he captured the Intercontinental title at Wembley Stadium in 1992, defeating Bret Hart in one of wrestling's most beloved matches. After years battling injuries and painkiller use, Smith died May 18, 2002 from a heart attack at just 39 years old. Curt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. Born March 28, 1958 in Robbinsdale, Minnesota, Curt Hennig embodied confidence as Mr. Perfect. Known for his flawless execution, he won the Intercontinental Championship and later managed talents in WCW and WWE. His charisma and athleticism made him one of wrestling's most respected workers. Hennig died February 10, 2003 in Tampa, Florida, from acute cocaine intoxication, aged 44. Miss Elizabeth. Born November 19, 1960 in Frankfort, Kentucky, Elizabeth Hewlett became the First Lady of Wrestling, managing Randy Macho Man Savage through the WWF's golden era. Her grace and calm presence balanced Savage's wild intensity, making them one of wrestling's most iconic duos. After retiring from the spotlight, Elizabeth died May 1, 2003 in Marietta, Georgia, from acute toxicity due to alcohol and painkillers, aged 42. Road Warrior Hawk, Michael Hegstrand. Born January 26, 1957 in St. Paul, Minnesota, Michael Hawk Hegstrand was one half of the legendary Road Warriors, alongside Animal. Known for their spiked shoulder pads and intensity, they revolutionized tag team wrestling across the AWA, NWA, WCW, and WWF. Hawk's larger-than-life persona masked personal struggles with addiction. He passed away October 19, 2003 from a heart attack at 46 years old. Crash Holly, Michael Lockwood. Born August 25, 1971 in Anaheim, California, Crash Holly became a fan favorite during the Attitude Era for defending his hardcore championship 24/7. His comedic energy and fearless bumps made him unforgettable. Off-screen, friends described him as deeply loyal and kind. Sadly, he died November 6, 2003, from an apparent suicide at only 32 years old. Big Boss Man, Ray Traylor. Born May 2, 1963 in Marietta, Georgia, Ray Traylor debuted in WWF in the late 80s as the Big Boss Man, a corrections officer from Cobb County. He worked both as a villain and a fan favorite through multiple eras, earning respect for his toughness and professionalism. Traylor died September 22, 2004 from a heart attack, at just 41 years old. Chris Candido. Born March 21, 1972 in Edison, New Jersey, Chris Candido was known for his technical brilliance and fiery personality. He shined in ECW, WCW, and WWE, often alongside his partner Tammy Sunny Sitch. A former NWA World Champion, Candido was respected for his passion and old-school style. He tragically passed April 28, 2005, due to a blood clot following surgery, at 33 years old. Eddie Guerrero. Born October 9, 1967, in El Paso, Texas, Eddie Guerrero was wrestling royalty, blending charisma, comedy, and world-class skill. A beloved underdog, he captured the WWE Championship in 2004, proving that heart could triumph over size. His "lie, cheat, steal" mantra became legend. Guerrero died November 13, 2005 of heart failure due to underlying cardiovascular disease, at just 38 years old. John Tenta. Earthquake. Born June 22, 1963, in Surrey, British Columbia, John Tenta was a real-life sumo wrestler before joining the WWF as Earthquake. Known for his massive size and surprising agility, he feuded with Hulk Hogan and Jake the Snake Roberts, leaving a huge mark on early 90s wrestling. Behind the monster persona was a kind family man. He passed away June 7, 2006, after a battle with bladder cancer, at 42 years old. Bam Bigelow. Born September 1, 1961, in Asbury Park, New Jersey, Scott Bam Bigelow stood out with his tattooed, flame-covered head and rare athleticism for a 390-pound man. A top star in ECW, WCW, and WWF, he mixed power with agility in a way fans had never seen. Bigelow died January 19, 2007, from a drug overdose complicated by heart disease, at 45 years old. Mike Awesome. Born January 24, 1965, in Tampa, Florida, Mike Alfonso, known as Mike Awesome, was one of ECW's most dominant champions, known for high-impact powerbombs and agility that defied his size. After stints in WCW and WWE, he quietly retired from wrestling. Tragically, Awesome died February 17, 2007, from suicide by hanging, at 42 years old. Sensational Sherri, Sherri Martel. Born February 8, 1958, in Birmingham, Alabama, Sherri Martel was both a fierce competitor and one of wrestling's greatest managers. She managed legends like Shawn Michaels, Randy Savage, and Ted DiBiase, bringing unmatched charisma to every role. Inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2006, she passed away June 15, 2007, from an accidental drug overdose at 49 years old. Chris Benoit. Born May 21, 1967, in Montreal, Canada, Chris Benoit was one of wrestling's most technically gifted performers, winning world titles in WWE and WCW. His intensity and dedication were unmatched, but his legacy was forever darkened by tragedy. On June 24, 2007, Benoit took his own life after murdering his wife and son in one of the darkest moments in wrestling history. Killer Kowalski, Wladek Kowalski. Born October 13, 1926 in Windsor, Ontario, Wladek Killer Kowalski was a pioneer of the Golden Age, feared in the ring, yet a gentle soul outside it. Known for his signature claw hold, he trained future legends including Triple H and Chyna. A true old-school giant, Kowalski passed away August 30, 2008 from heart failure at 81 years old. Andrew Test Martin. Born March 17, 1975 in Whitby, Ontario, Test was a powerful star of WWE's late 90s and early 2000s era, known for his feuds with Triple H and The Rock. With a look built for the spotlight, he seemed destined for greatness, but health issues and painkiller use derailed his career. He died March 13, 2009, from an accidental overdose of pain medication at just 33 years old. Umaga, Eddie Fatu. Born March 28, 1973 in American Samoa, Eddie Fatu, known as Umaga, was part of the famed Anoa'i family. Nicknamed the Samoan Bulldozer, his unmatched blend of speed and power made him a top WWE villain in the mid-2000s. A silent destroyer in the ring, yet a loving family man outside it. He died December 4, 2009, from a heart attack linked to drug use at 36 years old. Randy Macho Man Savage. Born November 15, 1952 in Columbus, Ohio, Randy Savage was wrestling's wild poet, a larger-than-life character whose voice and charisma defined an era. A two-time WWF champion, his battles with Ricky Steamboat and Hulk Hogan are pure legend. Off-camera, he was fiercely private. Savage died May 20, 2011, after suffering a heart attack while driving, at 58 years old. Paul Bearer, William Moody. Born April 10, 1954 in Mobile, Alabama, William Paul Bearer Moody became the eerie manager of The Undertaker, with his ghostly voice and signature urn. He helped shape WWE's most supernatural stories and entertained millions with his dark theatrics. Bearer passed away March 5, 2013, from a heart attack at 58 years old. Mae Young born March 12, 1923 in Sand Springs, Oklahoma, Mae Young wrestled for over 7 decades, longer than almost anyone in history. Tough, fearless, and funny, she became a late-career cult favorite for her outrageous WWE appearances in the 2000s. She passed away January 14, 2014 from natural causes at the incredible age of 90. Viscera, Nelson Frazier Jr. Born February 14, 1971 in Memphis, Tennessee, Nelson Frazier Jr. wrestled under multiple personas: Mabel, Big Daddy V, and Viscera, known for his size, charisma, and surprising agility. A former king of the ring, he entertained fans for nearly 2 decades. Frazier died February 18, 2014 from a massive heart attack, just 4 days after his 43rd birthday. The Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig, born June 16, 1959 in Crawfordsville, Indiana. Jim Hellwig, known as the Ultimate Warrior, was pure electricity, sprinting to the ring, shaking ropes, and channeling chaos into energy. After reconciling with WWE, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2014. Shockingly, just days later, he died April 8, 2014 from a heart attack at 54 years old. Dusty Rhodes, Virgil Runnels Jr., born October 12, 1945 in Austin, Texas. Dusty Rhodes was the working-class hero, the American dream. A master of storytelling on the mic, he helped shape wrestling both in front of and behind the scenes, mentoring countless stars in NXT. Rhodes died June 11, 2015 from kidney failure at 69 years old. Roddy Piper, Roderick Toombs, born April 17, 1954 in Saskatoon, Canada. Roddy "Rowdy" Piper was wrestling's original rebel. His quick wit and fiery promos made him the perfect foil for Hulk Hogan in the 1980s. A movie star, podcaster, and icon, Porter remained beloved to the end. He died July 31, 2015, from a heart attack at 61 years old. Chyna, Joni Laura, born December 27, 1969 in Rochester, New York. Chyna broke every barrier for women in wrestling. Known as the ninth wonder of the world, she became the first woman to enter the Royal Rumble and Intercontinental Championship scene. A symbol of power and independence, her life outside the ring was turbulent. Chyna died April 17, 2016, from an accidental drug and alcohol overdose at 46 years old. Mr. Fuji, Harry Fujiwara, born May 4, 1934 in Honolulu, Hawaii. Mr. Fuji entertained fans for decades, first as a 5-time WWF Tag Team Champion, then as one of wrestling's greatest managers, guiding stars like Yokozuna and Don Morocco. Known for his devious grin and signature salt toss, Fuji passed away August 28, 2016 from natural causes at 82 years old. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, born May 18, 1943 in Fiji. Jimmy Snuka brought high-flying wrestling to the mainstream. His leap off the steel cage in 1983 inspired a generation of future superstars. But his later years were overshadowed by legal controversy. Snuka passed away January 15, 2017, after a battle with stomach cancer at 73 years old. Bobby the Brain Heenan. Born November 1, 1944 in Chicago, Illinois, Bobby Heenan was more than a manager. He was the gold standard for wit, charisma, and storytelling. Whether managing Andre the Giant or trading barbs with Gorilla Monsoon, he turned every appearance into magic. After a long, courageous fight with throat cancer, Heenan died September 17, 2017, at 72 years old. Bruno Sammartino. Born October 6, 1935 in Pizzaferrato, Italy, Bruno Sammartino became the very heart of professional wrestling. After surviving wartime poverty, he built his legend in America, holding the WWF Championship for over 11 years, a record that may never be broken. Loved for his humility as much as his strength, he passed away April 18, 2018 from heart complications at 82 years old. Vader Leon White. Born May 14, 1955 in Linwood, California, Leon Vader White was the ultimate combination of size and athleticism. A 400-pound man who could moonsault off the top rope. A world champion in WCW and Japan, he redefined what big men could do in the ring. Vader died June 18, 2018, after a battle with pneumonia and heart failure at 63 years old. Brian Christopher Lawler. Born January 10, 1972 in Memphis, Tennessee. Brian Christopher, known as Grandmaster Sexay, brought fun and flair to the late 90s Attitude Era as part of Too Cool with Rikishi. His energy and smile lit up arenas, but personal demons followed him off-screen. He died July 29, 2018 by suicide while incarcerated, at just 46 years old. Nikolai Volkoff, Josip Peruzovich. Born October 14, 1947 in Yugoslavia, Nikolai Volkoff played the perfect Cold War villain, waving the Soviet flag and belting out the anthem before every match. Behind the gimmick stood a kind, soft-spoken man beloved by peers and fans alike. Volkoff passed away July 29, 2018 from heart failure at 70 years old. Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Born February 8, 1955 in Tampa, Florida, Jim Neidhart was the powerhouse of the legendary Hart Foundation, teaming with Bret Hart to form one of wrestling's most dominant duos. With his goatee, pink gear, and trademark laugh, Neidhart was unforgettable. He passed away August 13, 2018, after a fall at home caused by a seizure, at 63 years old. Mean Gene Okerlund. Born December 19, 1942 in Brookings, South Dakota, Gene Okerlund was the unmistakable voice of wrestling. His quick wit and straight man interviewing style turned backstage segments into classics. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2006, he died January 2, 2019 from complications following a fall, at 76 years old. Silver King, Cesar Cuauhtemoc Gonzalez Barron. Born January 9, 1968 in Torreon, Mexico, Silver King was a lucha libre star who crossed into WCW and even Hollywood, appearing in Nacho Libre. Known for his speed and style under the mask, he tragically collapsed during a match in London and died May 11, 2019 from a heart attack at 51 years old. Ashley Mazzaro. Born May 26, 1979 in New York, Ashley Mazzaro rose to fame after winning WWE's 2005 Diva Search, bringing punk rock energy and charisma to the women's division. She also represented WWE on Survivor and Rolling Stone. Battling depression in later years, she died May 16, 2019, by suicide, at only 39 years old. Harley Race. Born April 11, 1943 in Quitman, Missouri, Harley Race was the very definition of old-school toughness. An 8-time NWA World Champion, he battled Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, and the legends of his era with grit and pride. Revered by peers as a real-world tough guy, Race died August 1, 2019 from lung cancer at 76 years old. Rocky Johnson. Born August 24, 1944 in Amherst, Nova Scotia, Rocky Johnson was one of wrestling's first black superstars, known for his charisma, boxing background, and quick hands. As part of Soul Patrol, he became a WWF Tag Team Champion and paved the way for future generations, including his son, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He died January 15, 2020 from a pulmonary embolism at 75 years old. Howard Finkel. Born June 7, 1950 in Newark, New Jersey, Howard Finkel was WWE's first ever employee and its unmistakable voice. From "and new world champion" to the echo of his tone, his ring announcements defined the company for decades. Finkel passed away April 16, 2020 from complications of a stroke at 69 years old. Shad Gaspard. Born January 13, 1981, in Brooklyn, New York, Shad Gaspard was half of the tag team Crime Time, known for his charisma and charm. In 2020, tragedy struck when he drowned, saving his son from a riptide in Venice Beach, California. He was hailed as a real-life hero. Shad passed May 17, 2020, at age 39. Kamala James Harris. Born May 28, 1950, in Senatobia, Mississippi, James Kamala Harris was known as the Ugandan Giant, a fearsome yet entertaining character who captivated fans in the 1980s. Despite his intimidating look, he was humble and kind behind the scenes. Kamala died August 9, 2020, from cardiac arrest caused by COVID-19 complications at 70 years old. Road Warrior Animal, Joe Laurinaitis. Born September 12, 1960, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Joe Laurinaitis, known as Road Warrior Animal, was one half of the most dominant tag team in wrestling history. With his spiked armor and war paint, he helped redefine tag wrestling worldwide. He passed away September 22, 2020, from heart failure at 60 years old. Pat Patterson. Born January 19, 1941, in Montreal, Canada, Pat Patterson broke barriers as WWE's first Intercontinental Champion and later became one of Vince McMahon's most trusted creative minds. Beloved for his humor and passion, he was also a trailblazer for LGBTQ+ representation in wrestling. Patterson died December 2, 2020, from liver failure at 79 years old.
Scott Hall. Born October 20, 1958, in St. Mary's County, Maryland, Scott Hall oozed charisma. As Razor Ramon in WWE and later a founding member of the NWO in WCW, he helped revolutionize wrestling's cool factor forever. Despite personal struggles, he found redemption late in life with the support of friends and fans. Hall died March 14, 2022, after complications from hip surgery, at 63 years old. Antonio Inoki. Born February 20, 1943, in Yokohama, Japan, Antonio Inoki was not just a wrestler, he was a cultural icon. The founder of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Inoki bridged sports and politics, even facing Muhammad Ali in a legendary 1976 mixed rules bout. His influence reshaped wrestling globally. Inoki passed away September 30, 2022, from amyloidosis at 79 years old. Sara Lee. Born June 7, 1992, in Saginaw, Michigan, Sara Lee rose to fame after winning WWE's Tough Enough in 2015, earning a developmental contract with NXT. Known for her warmth and determination, she was a mother of 3 and loved by fans. Sara Lee tragically passed away October 5, 2022, from an accidental overdose at just 30 years old. Lanny Poffo. Born December 28, 1954, in Calgary, Alberta, Lanny Poffo, also known as The Genius, was the real-life brother of Macho Man Randy Savage. Known for his poetic promos and technical skill, he carved out his own legacy in WWF and beyond. Poffo died February 2, 2023, from heart failure at 68 years old. Bushwhacker Butch Bob Miller, born October 21, 1944, in New Zealand. Bushwhacker Butch was half of one of wrestling's most beloved tag teams, the Bushwhackers, famous for their wild walk and energy. Known for bringing laughter and chaos to fans worldwide, he passed away April 2, 2023, after a brief illness, at 78 years old.
Superstar Billy Graham. Born June 7, 1943 in Phoenix, Arizona. Eldridge Wayne Coleman, better known as Superstar Billy Graham, changed wrestling forever with his charisma and bodybuilder physique. He was the blueprint for Hulk Hogan, Jesse Ventura, and countless others. A preacher, a showman, and a survivor, Graham passed away May 17, 2023, from multiple organ failure, at 79 years old. The Iron Sheik, Hossein Khosrow Ali Vaziri, born March 15, 1942 in Damghan, Iran. The Iron Sheik became one of wrestling's greatest villains, defeating Bob Backlund in 1983 and paving the way for Hulkamania. Off-screen, he became a cult favorite online for his humor and bluntness. The Sheik died June 7, 2023 from cardiac arrest at 81 years old. Terry Funk. Born June 30, 1944 in Hammond, Indiana, Terry Funk was the embodiment of toughness. From NWA champion to ECW's hardcore legend, his 50-year career influenced nearly every generation that followed. He redefined longevity and grit. Funk passed away August 23, 2023 from natural causes at 79 years old. Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, born May 23, 1987 in Brooksville, Florida, Bray Wyatt was one of wrestling's most creative storytellers. With his cult-like charisma and haunting characters, he reinvented what it meant to perform in WWE. His loss stunned the entire industry. Wyatt died August 24, 2023, from a heart attack linked to COVID complications at just 36 years old. General Adnan al-Kaisi. Born March 1, 1939 in Baghdad, Iraq, Adnan al-Kaisi lived one of wrestling's most fascinating lives. A real-life childhood friend of Saddam Hussein, he wrestled across the Middle East and America before managing Sergeant Slaughter during the Gulf War storyline in WWE. Adnan died September 6, 2023 from natural causes at 84 years old. Ole Anderson, Alan Rogowski, born September 22, 1942 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Ole Anderson was an original member of the legendary Four Horsemen stable. Gruff, intense, and respected for his mind for the business, he also helped shape wrestling as a booker in the NWA. Anderson passed away February 26, 2024, from undisclosed causes at 81 years old. Virgil Michael Jones, born June 13, 1962, in Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania. Virgil became a household name as the bodyguard of the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, before eventually standing up to his boss in one of WWE's most memorable betrayals. Despite later health struggles, he remained beloved by fans. Virgil died February 28, 2024, from multiple strokes and dementia complications at 61 years old. Sika Anoa'i, born April 5, 1945, in Leone, American Samoa. Sika Anoa'i, one half of the Wild Samoans, helped establish the foundation for one of wrestling's most dominant dynasties. A WWE Hall of Famer and father of Roman Reigns, Sika passed away June 25, 2024 from natural causes at 79 years old. Sabu Terry Brunk, born December 12, 1964 in Staten Island, New York. Sabu was ECW's homicidal, suicidal, genocidal daredevil. A pioneer of hardcore wrestling who inspired generations of risk-takers. Known for his scarred body and silent ferocity, He gave everything to the craft. Sabu died May 2025 from undisclosed causes at 60 years old. Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, born August 11, 1953, in Augusta, Georgia. Hulk Hogan was more than a wrestler. He was a cultural phenomenon. The red and yellow hero of the 80s, a six-time WWE champion, and face of the wrestling boom that defined an era. From Hulkamania to Hollywood, his legacy transcended the ring. Hogan passed away July 24, 2025, from heart failure at 71 years old, leaving behind a legacy unmatched in wrestling history.
They gave their bodies to the ring, their hearts to the fans, and their lives to something bigger than themselves. Wrestling doesn't forget its legends. It just keeps telling their stories. If one of these names meant something to you, hit like, subscribe, and share this video to keep their memories alive. Because legends never die. They just take their final walk to the curtain.